going back to the 100K at Landy Field, we talked about your first marathon. You were nervous and emotional finishing, which is absolutely fair enough. Completing a marathon is a big task. Your 100 kilometres around Landy Field, you were originally trying to do 84 kilometres, which is 2 marathons, to raise money for breast cancer on Mother's Day. The final laps, you decide to say, nope, I'll do 100 kilometres. Reasoning behind that?
Yeah, so it was actually the day before I kind of decided that I'm gonna up the ante from 84 to 100K, and I just figured if I'm gonna run that far, I may as well hit a nice round number.
It's true.
And yeah, I mean,
did you have? Sorry, you go.
I just kind of thought that it's only going to add about an hour or so to the run if I was running at 4:30 or so pace, which ended up being the average for the day, 4:35.
That's I'm sorry, that's insane. 100 kilometres at 4:30 pace. That works out. What was it? 7 hours.
7 hours and 39 minutes.
Was that non-stop running? Or did you have a few breaks?
At the 50K mark, I stopped and changed my shoes.
Yeah. But it wasn't. But it wasn't for like a reason because you can't. So
no. So I stopped and changed shoes and also changed direction. Yeah. And the transition time was about 3 minutes. I felt like a triathlete. But yeah, I mean, there was thoughts that maybe I could walk a couple of laps to eat some food, but then I was like, nah, stuff it. I'm just going to keep running. And
so did you get given food throughout the run, or was it just literally running until you can't run no more? Definitely,
yeah. I had plenty of gels. I was super lucky. My dad, he's my number one fan, and he's a hero of mine. He came down with me at the start of the run at 2 a.m. So we decided to start at that time so I could get the first 50K going clockwise around the track, which is the wrong way. So if you're running normally around the track, you'll be running anti-clockwise. Yeah. But I wanted to run clockwise so that I could run both directions and reduce the load on one hip from the turning to reduce, chance smart. Of getting injured.
Never thought of that, actually. That's clever. I don't know. How did you think of that? Or was it just common sense as a runner?
Kind of a bit of common sense. Yeah. But, and so by starting that early, I was able to ensure that no one was going to be, running at that time. And then I would have to, well, I'm obviously not going to run into them. I would have to change direction. But by starting that early, I was able to do 50 in one way, 50 the other way.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank goodness I didn't do that. I would have a broken left hip if I didn't think of that. Anyway, you said at the 50K mark or roughly you changed shoes.
Yeah.
Running for that long, having a break, changing shoes, running back, that's tough. Because I know when you run a fair way and you stop and you go back, you got heavy legs. How'd you push through that?
Yeah, definitely. You just don't want to kill your momentum at any point.
That's tough.
But the benefit of changing shoes, and getting something that feels like it has some life under your foot outweighed the fact that I had to stop. And I was, again, super lucky that I had a lot of mates with me at the time. And yeah, I just honestly felt like a new man running the other direction. And yeah. That's
good. Well, you said you started at 2 a.m. Obviously, pitch black. Did they have the lights on?
Nah, but it was... The ambient light was good enough.
You could see enough.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. When you woke up, what was your plan before that run? Like, did you have your stretches and everything? Because is it the longest you've gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that planning like for 100 kilometres?
Well, when you say woke up, I actually didn't really wake up because I didn't really sleep.
True. There's no point getting up.
Yeah, because I was honestly quite nervous because, to tell you the truth, Noah, in the gap between running Newcastle Marathon, which was my PB, that was 3 weeks before, and running the 100K, I kind of loosened the shackles and started maybe eating more junk than I otherwise would. Yeah. And I
didn't stop you.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like I was in great shape before the 100. And
was that worrying?
It was worrying. It was like, I'm taking on this this challenge that I've never actually
gone close to.
Yeah, I've never even run half that distance. Sure, I've run 7 marathons in 7 days, but this is a completely different game.
Wow.
And I haven't even really set myself up for success because I had a few beers the night before.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying that really impacts you that much.
Yeah.
Because like it can ease your nerves or whatever, but before a race, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And before 100 kilometres, where you haven't, I guess, completed anywhere near that, it is a unique way to prepare, but it worked for you, which was very, very cool, actually.
Thank you.
You're an adapting runner.
Well, it was my birthday on the same day I did the 100, so, I mean, it was kind of like celebrating with my friends, and, yeah, we had a nice dinner.
And it was also Mother's Day, the day you ran.
Yeah.
Also, and you decided to raise money for breast cancer. Reasoning behind that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously breast cancer impacts a lot of women in the world, and you know, in Australia, I was shocked to find out the stats that it actually impacts 1 in 7 women in Australia will get it at some point in their life, and so I thought, as part of my run, I'll do something good and raise some funds for a great cause, and I was blown away with support. Was lucky enough to raise over $7,000 with the help of family and friends.
Very good effort.
And yeah.
Did you have a goal with money raised, or was it just is what it is,
Well, I set the fundraising target at $4,200, which worked out
smashed that.
Which worked out at like $20 a lap, and we were looking good, but then we sort of just cleared it the week of, because the way these things go is a lot of people donate at the start when you say you're going to do something, and then at the end, like when it's getting closer, you're doing it. But then because I upped the ante to 100k from 84k, that sort of that encouraged a lot of people to donate as well, I think.
Yeah, well, because you've raised money for breast cancer and you raised money for another cause.
Yeah, the Brave Hearts Foundation.
That's the one. What do they do?
So they serve to protect Aussie children from sexual assault and violence. Yeah. And yeah, as part of the 7 marathons in 7 days, you as a requirement of entry, you raise $10,000 for them, and yeah, I was lucky enough to raise $10,500. And so that gave me confidence that I could raise a bit for breast cancer too, but it gets hard because you have to ask a lot of same people twice, but I've just been so lucky that people have supported me in my endeavours.
Well, I think it's brilliant. I think the world need more people like you. I mean, you've raised money for 2 really important causes and a lot of money, and you do it through running. Is it because, that you love running by the looks of things? Is that the reason why you do it? Like, why do you raise money through running?
Yeah, I think just combining the challenge and it's something that I'm extremely passionate about, and so I think other people see that and they get inspired to support it.
Because I guess the running is a challenge in itself, and then the people who you're raising it for are going through a challenge themselves. So it's almost like they overlap as well, which is really, really clever too. While you're running your 100 kilometres in Landy Field, I saw some footage with people running with you, getting support behind you. How did that feel like with the community getting around you? It must be pretty special. Yeah,
it was great. I mean, I had people starting as early as 4:30. One of my mates, Steph, he ran a marathon with me around the track, and just having that support from mates is just huge for me. I'm super lucky in Geelong. We've got a great community, Noah, where we love running, we love sport in general, and yeah, when I was going through hard patches, they were able to sort of lift me up and give me something to be distracted by.
Absolutely.